Joey,
Eh?
you want a dog?
Yeah, I'll take a dog. Where you gonna get a dog?
Down at the Two Cat Kitchen, it's time for us to pitch in and start another Two Cat show. Down at the Two Cat Kitchen, we're starting on a mission to put you in the culinary know. We've got the finest recipes you ever will find, guaranteed to show you all a mighty fine time here at the Two Cat Kitchen. Time for a new edition of the Culinary Two Cat Show. The Culinary Two Cat Show.
Welcome to the Two Cat Kitchen, the show that mixes musical mayhem with culinary calamity. We're back at the Two Cat Kitchen. What's coming up next?
Next, we have Mr. John O'Malley, who's going to take the mystery out of history.
Wow, that sounds pretty exciting. What does he have for us today?
John's going to be talking about hair and senses
Hair and senses. All right.
at the same time.
Unbelievable.
Shall we get started?
We take the mystery out of history on the Two Cat Kitchen Show.
We have a special guest with us at the moment. It's Mr. John O'Malley. He's going to help us take the mystery out of history. So, John, welcome to the
Supposedly.
Welcome. Hey,
Thank
we know that you were a history teacher at one point in your life, and what drove you to take this strong interest in history?
You know, I've been interested in history. I didn't call it an interest in history as a little kid. It just came sort of organically from my neighborhood and my experiences with my family. My mother and father eloped in 1936 because my father was an Irish Catholic and my mother was from a large 11 children, an Orthodox Jewish family, and they secretly started seeing each other. And apparently my mother got pregnant before they got married. And they had to get married, and her family disowned her. So I came from this unusual background. I grew up with this odd configuration, ethnic configuration, and all that went along with it. And neither one of my parents ever drove a car. So my mother and father never drove a car, so we walked everywhere. And there were 8 children in my family, and we walked everywhere. And so I had to use my senses. And
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime, trying to take this all in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
My senses.
working overtime, trying to taste the difference between lemon and lime, pain and pleasure, and the church bells softly chime.
I couldn't look out a car window. Whenever we needed to go somewhere, we would walk. We would walk to the store. We would walk to the butcher store, the grocery store, the tailor store. They were all in my neighborhood. I grew up in the Mount
Did
section.
you walk to school, Johnny?
I did walk to school.
Twice.
Yeah.
Was it uphill?
Yeah.
Both ways.
It was actually, speaking about hills, all of this went into my love of storytelling and history as an adult. I want to for this session, just talk about one thing.
Okay.
And it's related to ethnicity, and it's related to culture, and it's related to the overall picture of why I love history. And it's about hair.
Okay.
It's about hair.
The musical?
Yeah, the musical, yes. Well, the musical, yeah.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
That's a whole nother topic.
Not the musical.
That's a tangent on hair.
All right.
And my brothers and I had very kinky hair. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool.
Oh, because
And
everyone wanted to look like the Beatles.
Everyone wanted to look
Yeah.
like the Beatles, so I became interested in what is it about these British people where they have straight hair, and who are they, and why do the girls go crazy over them? And 7th, 8th grade, I began to develop sexually, and I was just like, I did not want to have kinky hair, and nor did my brother Mike.
Right.
And he really had kinky hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was obsessed with straightening my hair, and I'd wash my hair, and then I'd comb it like 100 times to the opposite side. Comb it, comb it, comb it, comb it, endlessly, maybe 100 or 200 times. And then I'd part it and comb it to the other side, and it was perfectly straight.
Wow.
It was perfectly straight. But if there was any, and that I would walk up to the Elgin drugstore on Hope Street, and if there was any humidity, suddenly
Swing.
the hairs would boing, 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 boing,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden my hairdo would be just, it wouldn't look good.
Right.
So one day, Mike went, because he was the bad boy,
Right.
and he was always on my father's sort of shit list,
Gotcha.
and he
Yeah.
gave my father a hot time.
He wouldn't do nothing, just sitting there, look so good, right?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't do that.
You don't want
Anyway.
to go to school, learn to read and write.
Yeah,
Just
right.
sat around the house playing rock
Right.
and roll music. all
Yeah,
night, right?
yeah,
He's a bad boy.
yeah. And he was really into music. So Mike, this one afternoon, went down to Johnson's barbershop, and he got a process done on his
Process.
hair.
He
A
got the
process.
process.
He was processed.
He processed. So
Not
he
the
came to dinner, and I remember this night vividly because it was a hot summer night, and my father was dressed in a t-shirt, and he was sort of blue collar, my father, and he already didn't get along with Mike, and Mike came in to the dinner, and he had perfectly straight hair, and his hair looked like you took a skill saw and made a part down the side,
Precision.
with a precision, like a 32nd or a 64th of an inch part. And then he looked like he had like 50 coats of polyurethane on his hair. And my father there was total silence at the dinner table. And you knew my father was just gonna flip out.
Really?
And he just said, "What the hell happened to you?" And I was just like,
Uh-oh.
"Where did you go? You look so cool. Like, you look really good." And after dinner, we went in the bathroom, and he showed me what he bought from Johnson's barbershop. After the do, he he brought a canister of Dixie peach pomade, specially made for kinky hair.
Dixie Peach.
Dixie peach pomade, specially made for kinky hair. and it was pure lie. It was pure lie. And I put it on, my hair, and it miraculously burned like hell.
Wow.
But it straightened your hair out.
Oh yeah, sure.
But it burned
It
like
was a
hell.
toxic chemical.
So, all of these things contributed to my interest in hair and culture. And, I began to realize, connecting all the dots, that hair had a lot to do with culture and people's backgrounds and ethnicity or race and social pressures on them. And I started getting in my head this matrix of ideas. We might want to call it history, storytelling. And it took the mystery out of history. It's like you need to be observant of everything, and you need to experiment. So I was an experimenter as a kid. Anyway.
Well, good. Well, that's how you get into history. So,
Yeah,
well, thanks,
yeah.
John. That was really
Yeah.
insightful, and I can appreciate that. Where I grew up, it was very similar, very
Yeah.
mixed cultural neighborhood, and a lot of different ethnicities and religions. And you learn a lot from where you grow up.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
Yeah. All of that had such an impact on me as a kid. And I noticed that a lot of kids growing up today, in some respects it's good, but they're not observant.
Right.
They're probably surrounded with too much technology and not using their senses.
And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime.
And using their sense of smell and taste and their visual sense, looking at people, listening to people, listening to old people, listening to people who speak a different language.
Sure.
That's contributed to taking the mystery out of history.
Great.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank you
John.
so much, John, for joining us. And I think we're out of time. So that'll do it for this edition of the Two Cat Kitchen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Special thanks to our special guests today, Molly and Ryan. See you guys. And Sarah, thank you for being our special musical guest tonight.
Always glad to come here. Can't wait to come back.
All right, from the Two Cat Kitchen and the Coconuts, we'll see you again next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Culinary 2.